Good day, everybody out there. It's another week again with us at Upper Reporters and Talks, the program where we discuss and give our unbiased and unreserved opinion on the issues affecting the social, political, and economic welfare in Nigeria, connecting Nigerians home and abroad. Today is the 5th day of August 2024, and we are live in the studio for our 47th edition, the 47th episode of the program. Today there are exciting topics. There are exciting topics on the ground. But first, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Obizo J. I'm going to be your moderator and host for the day. And on the other side of the screen, I have my co-host and the panelist. As it is, we know the rules, we know the program, we know how it guides us. 3 minutes submission, 1 minute questions, interjection. The telephone number is going to be on the screen as usual, so calls can come in. But going back to the topic at hand, well, as it is on the general space, it is still, we are still on the protest, as the protest lingers. And the president has urged the protesters to end demonstration immediately after, I think, there was a broadcast. The president came up with a broadcast a couple of days ago, and he urged the protesters to be patient. He urged the Nigerian people, not just the protesters, to be patient. And we'll be deliberating more about his broadcast and how the protest has gone. On the other hand, the INEC has assured that the protest won't disrupt election preparations. As long as there's a peaceful protest, there's no reason to ask or talk about disruptions. Yes, the protest might have held the economy to a halt and some businesses, or etc. But it's a statement. So I think INEC can prepare without even realizing that there's a protest as the elections are going to be in September. Well, there are stories that the protesters have vacated Lagos, deserted Abuja, Benin venues due to certain reasons. We'll go back on that. And Tinubu's speech has been criticized by several stakeholders. The former or the PDP presidential aspirant, Atiku, he said that the president has ignored the protesters' demands from his speech. Well, last week we had a deliberation, myself and Mr. Osa. We talked about the president's speech. Yes, we discussed the president, not the president's speech, sorry, the protesters' demand. And we discussed to a certain level, I think number 1 to 6, and I think the protesters want more from what just those 10 points are. They say there's hunger in the land. They say the protest is for bad governance. It's called the hunger protest. And the demands that they want, they have certain demands. But everybody has something that they want. But that is just it. These are the topics for today. Like I do, I always push it into the studio and I give it to my panelists. I give it to my panelists for deliberation. In the studio, we have Mr. John Bosco, we have Mr. Osa, we have Mr. Adamu Deko. You guys, thank you for coming. Thank you for being in the studio. And yes, the topics ahead of us, the topics, yeah, it goes back to the protest leaders. Mr. John Bosco, I want to bring you in. So, from all you gather, how far is the protest still going? Is it an organic growth or the protest has come to a decline? Please, I'd like to hear your submission.
Well, good day, everyone. Well, I think the way the protest is going right now is going into a decline because I think the president's speech yesterday really depressed a lot of the protesters, and the law enforcement people are beginning to use force on people, arresting people, and like in Lagos, I heard that they used some thugs. The government used some thugs to attack some of the protesters. So, and I think people are really tired of the whole thing. You know, they've given up hope because the president's speech was really nothing to write home about. And the more they keep protesting, the more the economy suffers because commerce will not move, businesses will not open, the government will not function, you know. So I think, I don't know, I think like in Edo State too, the same thing. The civil society that really led the protests in Edo State, they pulled out of the protests. They said they will go re-strategize and see what they can do, you know. So I don't think people are ready. And the protests, especially in the north, yes, in the north, is still very hot and being violent and all that. People are killed, and now I'm seeing them flying Russian flag in the north, you know. So everything is becoming crazy. It doesn't make sense to me anymore. I don't know why you're flying Russian flag in the north. Are you asking Russians to come and help you? Because that's how anarchy starts, and that's how civil war starts. Before you know it, proxies of the West comes in, they take advantage of the whole situation, and then you know it, the country blows up in flame, and nobody wants that. So, but I don't know what we can do, but I think people that are advising Mr. President are not doing him well at all, because I believe that people must have advised him, oh, this is the speech you should write to these people. They will get tired and they will leave, because he never addressed any of the things that the protesters were demanding for, and which is sad. At least even if he worked on only one, you are telling them that there's no going back on subsidy. I mean, in every developed world, they subsidize things for their citizens, and that's why their citizens survive. You know, you say no, you're not doing subsidy anymore because you don't want to enrich the cabals and the rest, but the cabals are still enjoying the subsidy money. Nothing has really changed. You know, so what is there for the masses? And that's what the question everybody is asking. What is there for the masses? You can't keep punishing the masses and enriching the politicians and yourselves and saying you're trying to make things right. Yeah, he put in some policies that might not yield fruit immediately. You're telling people to go and farm. Even if you start farming from now till 6 months, it's still not going to feed the nation. It's still not going to be enough. The thing will not grow to feed everybody in the country. That will bring down the prices of goods and services, you know. So I think they need to do better with this whole situation. I think the president needs to do better. And the people around him need to advise him better, because I think people around him are just doing, oh God, don't mind these people. They will soon get tired, and you're using your own proxies to fight the protesters. So the whole thing doesn't really, I mean, I think the protest is going to just die a natural death and nothing will change. That's my take.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. John Bosco. Well, is that the protest is supposed to be for 10 days, right? And how many days have they gone so far?
I think today is the third, I'll be the fourth day. I think the fourth day. It
Really?
started on the first. Today is what's today's date?
Fifth.
Fifth. Okay, today's the fifth day. So they have 5 more days to go.
Well, it is only good that at least a statement was made. A statement was made, and the government were aware, because I think for the president's speech, in as much as his speech did not correlate with the demands or the cries from the people, the president's speech should have been, maybe probably was a speech that was supposed to come after his inauguration.
Or before the protest. Or this is the speech would have made before the protest.
You don't have to get a protest. That speech is just a speech where you get to tell people after several increase in commodity or price hike. This is what you should tell people before protest or
No,
after
what I'm
protest.
saying is that maybe before this, I mean, since you've
Yes,
been hearing that the
before
protest was going to
people
happen.
started thinking of having a protest.
Thank you.
That's why I said after his inauguration, because these are the things you tell people after. You tell them when you attend government, say, see, we are going through a tough time, and it's a testing period. We have to fasten our seatbelts and know that we can't fall back.
And I think what is really angering the masses is not because of the hardship like that. Yes, the hardship is part of it. But when you're telling the masses to fasten their seatbelt, tighten their seatbelt because of the economic situation, but the federal government is not showing the example.
No,
they are spending frivolously as if there's no problem in the country. What's the reason of renovating the vice president's house? There's no reason for that. The presidential jet, there's no reason for that.
But in my own opinion, if the vice president's house is being renovated, why is it being on the news?
Well, because they put it on the budget.
That's
why it's in the news. Because even in the Western world, it's still like that. You have to make it public. It's public knowledge. You have to make it public for people to know because you're spending taxpayers' money. If it's what the country cannot afford, if we had a Congress, I mean a National Assembly that functioned the way it's supposed to function, they can say, okay, this budget is not going to work for this now. It's not an emergency. That was the same house Vice President Osibanjo stayed for 8 years. So why would you spend such an amount of money to renovate it in these austerity measures? So people are not happy. Then you are buying new SUVs for senators. What about the SUVs that the other senators used? I mean, that's the problem with the Nigerian system. When you're leaving office, you go with what they gave you. You don't leave it behind.
No, but
and that's why government is expensive.
Are you saying this? Okay, let's say, for instance, Wike is a senator.
Mm-hmm.
He was is now a senator. Are they going to buy an SUV for Wike as well, who has been driving a SUV for 8 years as a governor?
When Wike became a minister of FCT, he was bought the new LS 600, brand new. Not that,
what do they do with these cases?
That's what I don't understand.
Because Wike, less than a year ago, must have bought a car for himself as a governor.
Thank you.
So why are you buying another car? Do you want to have I understand reasons why. I see reasons why these convoys are. You can see a convoy of 100 SUVs. You can see, but when you have a convoy of 100 SUVs, some of those SUVs, their tank can 100 liters.
And because we don't have accountability in the system.
Who is funding these? Who is funding these? The maintenance cost of all these?
Because I
Well,
think the problem is that we don't have accountability in the system, and the institutions are not functioning. Because as a minister, when you're leaving,
people are just nonchalant.
you don't live with the car. If you
People are
give you an official
nonchalant.
car, that official car belongs to that ministry. Even as a governor, you don't. Even I remember, was during after Bill Clinton. It was a plate. Like Clinton left with a plate in the White House, China plate, and they told her to return it in 24 hours. Not even a car, plate. In Nigeria, you see a governor that is living will take everything in the government house, up to TV, everything. The new governor will come, will have to replace everything again. When that governor is going, he will take everything. So it doesn't make sense. And that's why governance in Nigeria is so expensive. Senators do the same thing. You're a senator, you're leaving, you're taking everything. When a new senator comes, they give them money to buy the same thing again. So it's a tough one. I don't know what the citizens would do that will make these politicians rethink or do the things that is supposed to help themselves and the masses that they're supposed to be working for. Look at Bangladesh. Their prime minister resigned today. The protest was violent, and the police couldn't stop the protesters. And it's not even hunger strike. It was because of civil service that created that strike protest in Bangladesh that the prime minister had to resign after how many years? And the thing is that everybody protesting there, they were all united. They had one goal. Nigeria, some people are helping the government against the protesters. So why would they work? Or the Nigerian government leaders, politicians, yeah?
But again, regardless, the protesters are not even united. They are not uniform.
That's what I'm saying. They are not united. The country is so divided that they have some parts that are working for the government to fight against the protesters. They have some protesters that sometimes when you even see what some of these like in Benin, I see people cooking on the streets. Is that what you are there for? Dancing, cooking, eating.
They take advantage. They take everything for a joke.
That's why the government don't take us serious.
When
I see the people protesting in Bangladesh, I'm not seeing anybody hanging in one corner cooking rice, eating. They had a focus, they had a mission. Because when the government see people eating and enjoying and dancing and these ones, they're not hungry, they're not serious. Let's continue what we are doing.
Well,
so it's a tough one.
Thank you very much, my brother. Let's hear what Osa has to say, or Adamu Deko. Adamu Deko, are you there? Good morning, or good afternoon, good evening, where you're calling from?
Good evening, sir. Well done, sir.
How's everything, my brother? It's been a minute.
Yes, sir.
Have you reached out to your people? Any updates from the protests? You see the way things have turned out?
I think what you are seeing in the north is not Russian flag. It's actually the armed forces flag.
Yeah.
But the last color on the flag, they didn't get that on the market. That's why they now replace it. That's why they now replace it with the white. Do you understand? So
Yes.
I if you look at the protesters there, they are calling for military to take over. If you understand how they are telling the soldiers they prefer soldiers to civilian, they want military to take over. I believe that there's a conspiracy in the north to overthrow Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government. And the core politicians in the north are using this protest as an avenue to achieve that political goal. So what you are seeing in the north, they are not Russian flags. They are armed forces flags. Just that they did not get the right color. But the last white, there's another color that looks word that is attached to it. That's the armed forces colors. I don't think that's very popular in the market, so they replace it with white. Well, I think Nigerians have actually sent out their message. In democracy, majority will have their way, minority will have their say. Uh, People actually voted, genuinely voted for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In my polling unit, people came out to vote for him on that election. And this same person still of the view that he's doing well, that is preparing the ground for a better Nigeria. And we must respect the views of these persons because we're in a democracy. So those guys have come out to speak. The protesters are still on the streets. They are still, sending their messages, but it has actually been the enthusiasm, the fanfare that greeted the protest from day one. The momentum has actually slowed down, but these things, but the core issues, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has not addressed them effectively, even in his speech on Sunday morning. Has not been able to address the root causes of hunger. How we're able to, tackle this ugly menace that is ravaging every household in Nigeria. Also, the president has not been able to hold our police that actually killed people. When there were cases where police shot at people died, we expected the president to say, okay, this particular set of police officers to be brought to book. These were not mentioned in his speech. His speech was just very, very vague, uninspiring, and for me, it doesn't say well of someone who is really, really committed to addressing the issues of the protesters. Nigerians don't want too much. We just want to breathe. We want to eat. We want to be protected. We don't want to die. Just to run on with the basics. I've seen in other countries, even with an increase in bread, people will come out and protest. Just an increase in bread. People protest in other countries. But Nigerians, we are not so much accustomed to hardship. We adjust, no matter how difficult it is. We try as much as possible to adjust. So that's why you see in the north, the poverty there is ravaging. Hunger is driving people crazy. In my hometown, people now carry guns just to collect bikes from people. So, the high rate of criminality is too much. So you are seeing more protests in the north because they are more affected by the bad policies of the APC. And the Southerners, they really do not want to come out and protest because they feel, oh, she's been on our voter, make it flex out. So that's for me, is what I've seen on this protest. And I'm seeing state governors. I see Nigerians don't actually rate their state governors. How vile and evil state governors can be. I'm surprised that we are not even holding our state governors accountable. We're just concentrating on I'm not saying we shouldn't hold President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu accountable. I'm saying in as much as we are holding him accountable, let's not forget that in Edo State, Obaseki collected 11.1 billion for FARC in July. So every month, if you add it together, we are receiving 60 billion every month. So what is the intervention of the state government to curtail most of those things? It shouldn't be only President Bola Ahmed Tinubu alone. So for me to be seeing Obaseki carrying mic, going to protest ground, saying it's with the protesters, it's weird. You're supposed to be providing solutions. You are a chief executive officer of a state. We've heard that 570 billion has been given to the state again to try to curtail the hardship. No state government is coming forward to say, I've received it. This is how I'm spending it. And this is how my people are benefiting. And Nigerians are quiet about it. So these are some of the issues. So if we really want a productive and a progressive nation, we need to really stand up and hold the federating unit, the leadership of all the state government, including the minister for the FCT, accountable. Same way we are holding federal government accountable. That's my take.
Thank you very much, Mr. Damon. Yes, thank you for the correction. I actually read it somewhere that the flag was the Nigerian military flag and not the Russian flag. But according to the dailies, according to Punch, they say protesters waving Russian flags committing treason. That is the defense staff, chief of defense staff, making this brief. Then in Vanguard, they say Russian flag. Police arrest 31 producers, distributors in Kano, Kaduna, and others. Probably the media is also getting it wrong because I read before now, I heard that someone actually said the flag was not a Russian flag, although even the Russian embassy has told the media to disregard such connections to them, that they had nothing to do with it. So probably maybe it was a Russian flag or whatever. But the idea of throwing in a Russian flag in a protest says a lot. It is now getting political. Yes. What does it signify? I like the fact that they said some people have been arrested. They should be questioned peacefully and asked in the simplest ways. What are you agitating for? Is it hunger protest or do you want? Who are you? Why you? What is the flag being created and distributed for? Yes, that is what I think should be done. But well, the media, the people, it's getting confusing every day. Mr. Osa, you are next. Are you there with us, Mr. Osa? Okay, I guess you are busy. Mr. Tupo, are you available to make your submission on this matter? Mr. Tupo, are you there? Okay. As it is, we had Mr. Timmy, the team Basque. Mr. Timmy, you just got into the studio. I don't know if you followed up, but are you there? Do you like to make a submission on the protest and the president's speech and the new flag that has been going around by protesters in the north? Do you have any comments on these matters?
Good evening. Thank you so much. I'm actually on the train, so I may not be able to speak for too long,
Okay.
but I'll be typing if I have things to say. So please just help me. If there is a second person monitoring, you can just help me, maybe push out some of my thoughts as we go along. But more importantly, I wanted to find out if the House is aware about Mr. Tony Obama, aka Antonio Manero, who also comes on the program from time to time. Moderator, are you aware?
Yes, I'm very aware.
Okay, so
I'm very aware.
I don't know if at the beginning there was a minute of silence. I think it's appropriate if it has not been done. Maybe at the end of the program we observe that for him.
Yeah, I appreciate this. It has not been done, and because we're just two in the studio, I was thinking maybe if we had more people around, I would have brought that in as a topic or as an information. And thank you again. I appreciate the information you have just passed across. We'll do before the end of the show. We'll have the 1 minute silence. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you very much. Um, yeah, the protest has been the distraction for the day, and as Mr. Adamu Deko said, he said 56 billion has been released to governors. Why are funds being released to governors? Why are these funds not channeled into the electricity tariff as a subsidy for payment? Or why is it not being channeled into petroleum products as a subsidy or into transportation? Or why has it not been channeled into food production? Why there are other places? Why giving the governors funds to do things? A lot of people are blaming governors as well. But remember one thing, the governors did not remove subsidy. The governors do not have powers to regulate the fuel of petroleum products. The governors have their own end, yes. They should be held accountable on certain areas too. But when it comes to security and some other stuff, yes, we should hold, not can. We should hold our governors by the jugular for those ones. But there are certain policies, there are certain occurrences that we cannot blame our governors for the subsidy removal. Even if they call it cabal or no cabal, we cannot blame our governors for that. We truly cannot. The president made a speech. He was bold enough to make that speech. He should be bold and rugged. I use the word rugged to tackle it to the end. But when you want to make a speech or when you have a plan, perhaps removing the subsidy, which has increased the petroleum product, especially the PMS, removing the subsidy, it should have made alternative measures. Even if the day he made the statement on his inauguration, he had already known that he was president. So he said he wanted to hit the ground running. After he had been pronounced winner, and he had it in mind that yes, the subsidy would go or will stop, he was supposed to have an alternative instantly. Because that alone, everybody is saying, when you listen to some people, they want petroleum products to reduce. The protest has made it increase. Someone from a direct source, someone purchased PMS for 800 naira in Lagos, even after queuing for a few hours. That is not proper. It is not. It is not a good one. So alternatives should be, petroleum products are not cheap worldwide. Yes. But alternatives should be made.
Yeah, but things are still subsidized in other countries where petroleum products are expensive.
No, what I mean, even in countries where petroleum products are not, they are. I would not say they are expensive. They are what they are worldwide. It's a commodity that has never been cheap, whether we like it or not. Nigeria has one of the lowest, to be very candid. But again, we can make it better. I saw a list somewhere, I don't know. We are one of the countries, they had a list of like 50 countries and we had 0 refinery working.
Yeah, I saw that list.
Yes. What does it cost to the refinery to work? For an oil producing, a so-called oil producing country.
But that's the sabotage that is going on now. Because
that's what they call it sabotage. Who is sabotaging us? We are sabotaging
the cabals, the so-called cabals.
I don't see. We are now beginning to fall for the gimmicks and the truancy. Because people imagine the president telling you about the cabal.
But and that's the problem. And he's the president. You cannot take charge and
In my home, where I'm head of house, you cannot tell me about any cabal. If I'm the head of your house, you can't tell me about the cabal. I can only be in another person's house or in a person, or we are a group of persons in a place, in a camp, and we can say, okay, there's a cabal, or we are in a church organization, or we are in a, a nocturnal organization, or we are in a school group, or in a WhatsApp group, or in a society. Then you tell us about cabals where nobody really has the forefront of leadership. But you cannot tell me you're a president and you're talking about the cabal. If you have the cabal, tell the IG of police, tell the chief of staff to bring the cabal to your desk by Monday morning, no matter how many they are. If there are 100, you want all of them brought to your doorstep Monday morning, or you want their names. But you can't come and be telling us cabal. Because it has become a term now that we think that the ghost or some demigods or some invisible entity or the Illuminati, they are in charge they are beyond. You can he blatantly removed the subsidy, so that they are coming to tell us cabal. Well, so I don't want us to fall for that. When they say cabal, I hardly make reference to such because I feel irritated when I hear such. There's what cabal? The previous government said cabal, the one before that said cabal, you are saying cabal. Don't the cabals grow old? Don't they die? Don't they when they die or when
Are they not human beings?
exactly who are they? Are they married? Who are they married? Where are their children? So you cannot tell us when you want to do something that you cannot control, you say cabal, or when you get, because it's simple. I want to be president, I want to be governor, I want to be senator. When you get to that table, it's a different ball game entirely. I want to, I will, those things are just, but when you get to the table, when you get to that table, and the ball is in your court, it is asked, do you know what you are about to do? Because you have been saying this is what you want. Now you have got it. Can you handle it? I think that's what affects our government. Or probably the stress of getting into the chambers makes them confused or makes them forget what they are there for. Some people say, let's start over again, let's start afresh. Now, what does it mean start afresh? We have a new government, we have a fresh government. Yes, some of them may be ex-governors, some of them may be ex-ministers, but they're all hand-to-hand bodies. But are they saying they don't see the things we see, even when they are in and okay, okay, your hand is up, but before. Okay, let's put it this way. Let's presume Osibanjo and Buhari, they were in the power. And Tinubu said he was not in government, but he was friends with them. So he probably looked at what they did and he didn't like what they did, or he wanted to do what they did differently. Are you saying you try to do something different from what they did to bring out a worse result? So it's confusing. I don't know, or maybe is it the growth of the population, or is it because the world is going through an economic stress? Well, people, you have your hand. You had the sorry. To put your hand is up.
Yeah, sorry, I can't talk now. Okay.
Okay, I thought you had your hands up. Sorry.
Yeah, before now. So don't worry, I'll talk later.
Okay, I would call you back. You just let us know when you are ready.
Sure, we do.
Yeah, thank you. So the matter is still the matter, and we are still. My only fear now is this. My only fear is this. If the protests I like the fact that the protest has not really, apart from the crazy things we see on the flag carrying or the sad news about people getting killed. No one has to be killed for any reason, especially for something that affects us. It's disheartening that a police officer who who is given power to serve and protect. I guess that is what police officers are for. I don't know the slogan of the Nigerian police force. I think it may be to serve and protect as well. It is sad that he will carry a gun to shoot a protester that is trying to make things
Better for him too.
better for him and his family. It's just it is it is it is it is it is funny because okay now I want to break it down. Let's take away I want to go into vernacular. Oga, why you shoot who dey protest? What did he do? He charged to you or what? He tried to collect your gun or what? What did they protest for? Did they protest for himself or did they protest for Nigerians? Or be oga the oga police, even if your wife na police, your children are police, when all of them go carry gun. Because tomorrow, when you retire in a bad society, it will affect you. Now you have a gun, you don't go carry gun forever. So why shoot someone that is trying to protest? These are the things when it is just I've been having a very bad. I just don't understand. Initially, I was excited. Protest. Okay, something to
Like,
discuss.
didn't you see the I think it was Commissioner of Police FCT yesterday went to meet the protesters and told them it's time for them to leave, that the president has made his broadcast and that is it. Everybody needs to leave or they will use force on them. This is a man that's supposed to be protecting peaceful protesters against the violent ones. That the president has made his. Well, sometimes you won't still blame them. They're taking orders. They're trying to save their job, except they want to do rebel against their leaders.
Wait, excuse me. Save what job? You have been a police officer for over 20 years. You rose up the ranks. It's not like Tinubu came and the guy became it's not like Tinubu came and the guy became
He was promoted or something.
Oh yes, from being a corporal. You have been in the police. You have been in the police before Tinubu started having aspirations of becoming a president. Even if I know, yes, I can tell you firsthand that these channels, yes, they are bodies of how the IG is being elected. They go through certain ranks, but you are not the only one. So even if, yes, you say, okay, the president has trusted in you and put his trust in you, but that is no yardstick. It is no yardstick for you to. It's no yardstick for you to
brutalize protesters.
To come in a civilized environment. Do you know these men are highly educated? They are very, 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 very educated. In the police, the IGs, if you have been opportunity to communicate with one or two, these guys know.
Another thing again, DG, sometimes when these police officers, especially the guys, they are not doing it because that's what they really want to do. They are doing it to impress the presidency too.
What are you impressing the police for? The president will be in 5 years'
so that they can keep their job as a police commissioner.
In 5 years' time, in 5 years' time, take it or leave it, that guy will be out of the force. Not even just be IG. When you get to the IG level, your days are being numbered, not numbered per death, numbered per retirement. How many IGs have stayed with IGs come and go? And after the being an IG, you have done all the part of a police officer. You go home, you go and retire.
Well, it's mostly in Africa we see
Why
police
not make the
they
neck?
use live bullets to kill protesters that are not violent. You know, look at the UK, the protests in the UK, even with all the violence, the police never use live ammunition to shoot anybody. They were still using their baton and their tear gas.
The protest in the UK. The protest in the UK. I didn't see. Did they brandish any form of firearm?
No, they were using stones. They were throwing stones and bottles at the police.
Yes, but the police did not.
All they did was use their shield, their baton, and tear gas and water spray.
The police did not brandish any form of firearm.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
So I know Nigerian protests can be crazy. Yes, but
even as violent as the UK protest was, there was no single fire. The police never shot one single live bullet.
No, police in the UK, they don't really carry guns.
Yeah, I mean, even in the United States, even with violent protests, I've never seen a police officer shoot live bullet at protest, except the protester is brandishing a weapon, like a gun, shooting at the police. Then you can say, okay, they will fire back. But saying just using rocks and bottle and throwing bottle and rocks and sticks, they're going to use their baton and their tear gas and their dogs to chase them back and arrest them. You know, so it's a very sad situation where we see ourselves, whereby police officers will be shooting live ammunition at protesters that are protesting for their own benefits too. Because tomorrow you hear police officers crying that, oh, they transferred me to this place, no water, no light, I can't even travel to go see my family. Then when people are protesting for the government to change for the betterment of everybody, you use violence to hit at them, which is sad. You know, that's why sometimes I don't even feel sorry for the police or the army when they are complaining, especially the rank and file officers. You know, because they're the ones feeling the brunt as the masses. The big top shots in the military and the police, they're all living large, enjoying themselves. Their kids live abroad, schooling abroad. They can eat
like
meals.
I can tell you now. I don't know, but I can bet it's a gamble though that the IG of the commissioner of the guy that said people should go home. If they go find out his children, is it commissioner of FCT or the guy that
commissioner of police of FCT?
Yes, I can tell you for sure that guy's kids are somewhere abroad.
I can bet you too. They are all schooling abroad.
Yeah.
None of them, their kids are not schooling in Nigeria. From commissioner upward, none of their kids are schooling in Nigeria. They are making enough money to school to send their kids abroad. If a civil servant can send their kids abroad, talk less of a police officer, a commissioner of police or IG. IG is almost like a major general. You know?
Yeah.
So it's a system that there's no accountability for people that are in authority. Institutions don't work to hold these people accountable for what they are doing. Same with the governor. Like even the governor self, yes, the governors, they have their own. But the governors will not tell you that even the money they are releasing to them is still not enough to pay salaries and debt. You know, except the federal government is going to be coming out every month when they share that money. They list every state, how much they are giving to each state. They can tell you now they're giving 500 billion to each state. Maybe the money hasn't even gotten to the states. The same way they said they've sent out 200 trailers of rice.
But are they supposed to be sharing money to states?
Yeah, they're supposed to be sharing it because the federal government is still in charge of every state. The states are not independent like that.
Yeah. But when you keep sharing money, it becomes, you know what we are with the way we are with money.
Yeah, because of our system.
When you give money to a people or a group of persons and you don't ask for breakdown, there's nothing that can change.
But you know, the way our governing system is, They don't have the choice. They must share that money to states, except the states are 100% independent. They generate their own revenue.
What about if they use the money to buy buses to transport farmers?
That is okay, but you can. How can you do that? You have to see delegated to the states to do by themselves. The federal government cannot come into a state and start telling you take bus, not running the buses in those states. The money still has to go to the governors to do the same thing.
Because my own case is this: okay, you give a governor 6 billion, or give him 5 billion at the moment. Okay, let's say 1 billion. What would he do with it?
You go and pay salaries now and pay his debt. The state is owing.
Then how does that affect the?
And the thing is that if you don't even give the governors can still take you to court. Remember what they did to Jonathan, the oil windfall money that was in the reserves during 2014. Amechi was the governors forum chairman, and they took federal government to court and won the case. And that's how that foreign reserve was depleted. They won the case and they shared that money for states. Until they hand over power to states 100%, generate your own revenue. Even at that, some states can't even pay salary. Some states cannot even survive if they do that. A lot of states will not be able to survive on their own 100%. That's the problem. There's only few states that will be able to survive if they say, okay, we change the constitution, states run your states 100%. Local government, run your local government 100%. That is in the other climates, same climates. Some states can't even do it. Some northern states won't even survive. But when you see their governors, they are driving, their convoy is more than 20. Their kids live abroad, living the life, but they can't pay salaries. They can't take care of their people. I think that would be the best bet, to hand over states to run their states themselves. So that we know, so that when you want to protest, now, okay, this is Edo State, they run their own revenue, they generate everything. They cannot function. The people, when you're protesting in Edo State. The same thing in Lagos State, the same thing in every other state. But when the federal government still the ones still sharing that money to states, then the governors will always lay the blames on the federal government. And the federal government still makes most of the policies that affect the states too. Like you said, the oil subsidy removal, it wasn't the state that did it, it was the federal government. It will still trickle down. The dollar-ish situation is not the state, it's still the federal government. So whatever the federal government does affects the state. Even in the Western world, we have never seen a protest in the Western world where they're protesting against the state governor for the economy. It's still the federal government, whether we like it or not. You still blame the federal government. I've never seen it, even in America, whereby states are 100% generating their own revenue. When there's economic hardship in the country, they don't blame state, they still blame the federal government, because federal government makes those policies that trickle down to the states. Even when when states are independent, still the federal government, because when you increase interest rates or inflation, it's still the federal government they blame. They don't blame state governors. Talk less of Nigeria, that the federal government are the ones that it comes from the top to the bottom instead of from the bottom to the top. So the governors, that's why the governors are getting away with a lot of things in Nigeria. Because if you attack them, they say, oh, it's not us, it's the federal government. It's the federal government policy that is affecting us. It's true. So it's a very tough situation. Except that, like people keep saying, we change that constitution and allow every state to be independent. Run your state yourself. If you're not functioning well, your people will hold you accountable. If you're functioning well.
How do the people hold? When we always speak about accountability, we always talk about it every time. Yes, I'm an advocate for it. But in all honesty, how do we hold our politicians or our leaders accountable? How? What manner?
The only way you would have been able to hold our politicians accountable is through the ballot box. That's what happens in the same climate.
We don't have. Sometimes we don't have full anatomy. Yes.
Autonomy,
Okay.
autonomy, full autonomy.
Sorry, I'm using. I'm in this drought at the moment. Yes, we don't have autonomy of our ballots.
That's the other problem. Because if
So
our elections were really credible and you can count votes and say, okay, this, so the next time a politician doesn't do what is he or she supposed to do, they will vote him out. That's how it is in the Western world.
yes,
If you
and
don't perform, you will the next election, you're not going to win.
exactly.
That's
So
the only way we can
work,
hold our politicians
when
accountable.
it doesn't work, then how can we hold them? How does it work? Because right
That's
now,
the problem.
the only reason people do these things, a politician will say, I'll get myself rich. And when I'm rich, I'll make rich friends. When I'm rich, I'll make rich friends. He will speak in Hausa, Wallahi, I'm not leaving that seat. And for sure, he would really be there, keep himself till it expires, and bring another man to put there. So it's even crazy, or it's crazier when we ask for accountability and we cannot even justify who sits next on the throne. It's only the governor that can decide who will succeed him. So
Yep.
what is the accountability for? A governor picks his successor. The other political parties pick their wingmen, and we are talking about accountability. Accountability wouldn't come from nowhere.
That's the problem.
Thank you. You said it at the same time. But the problem, so when we say hold accountability, they are going to give a governor, they are giving rich governors 56 billion that will not be accounted for. Today is 5th of January of August. These people probably got their accounts credited from the government allocation as well. So the governor sits at home today. There's protests. There's no more. There's nothing much to do, and he checks his state account, calls his whatever secretary, whatever financial, whatever, and they say we have a fresh 53 billion that's coming this month.
Or if we have a president that can call out governors by name, like Obasanjo did it during his time. He was calling out governors by name.
He almost lost the second term.
Because of that. So if we have governors, president that can say, okay, if you're my party member, you're not my party member, we've given you money, what did you do with that money? This is how much that was given to this PDP governor. This is how much that was given to this APC governor. Irrespective of party, call them out. Maybe that might be what we can change things. Maybe start holding them accountable by the presidency. Because the president is the most powerful person in that country, in anywhere in the world. A president's power, commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Nobody, you can do and undo. You can, if you want to change the country, you can change it. If you really want to, but our politicians, all they do is for their own selfish interest. They think of themselves alone. Or if I do this thing now, my party people will be angry with me. Because they don't care about the people the so-called people that are leading. They care about their party structure, their fellow party members, and their friends and their family. That's what they do.
Care? Do they care about anything? No.
Okay, look at what's his name? Aliko Dangote came out screaming that day about what's going on. No investigation, nothing has happened. Nobody has said anything, everything just swept under the rug. Everybody move on. They've gone to their round table and they've negotiated amongst themselves. Why you go talk that kind of thing for public now, man? They do that kind of thing again. They will laugh. We, the masses, will keep fighting each other. Meanwhile, these guys are fine with what they are doing. Even the Aliko Dangote that is crying, if it hadn't affected him, he wouldn't have cried out. He has been part of the so-called cabal that has been milking the system. All of them. That's what they do. Yeah, I know how many businesses the man has crushed in Nigeria so that they won't compete with him.
Well, Say, the capitalist way.
Dog eat dog. That's what they do.
Yeah, that's choose to say who is stronger. Who is stronger is right. There's a line that was used in Michael Jackson's song. They said the stronger person is right.
As we're about 200 and something million. We just have only two. We have only two non-billionaires in Nigeria: Aliko Dangote and Femi Otedola. Finish. And those are the people that are running the whole business in the whole of Nigeria.
No, but what about the glow? The glow.
I mean, that one is just focused on his telecom. That one is focused on his telecom, and it's not into politics.
Then the lady, Mrs. Alakija, is she not the black richest woman in the world?
I mean, I'm talking about people that are open with business. Mr. Alakija is focused on one particular oil. Aliko Dangote is focused on everything. He's into rice, he's into beans, he's into sugar, he's into flour, he's into everything. Now he has gotten into oil.
Femi Otedola, he was into oil too, Abi?
He's into oil. Now he's still into oil. He's into, I think, telecommunication. He's into, I think, Transcorp. He fell out with Tony Lumelu for that one. You know, but he has bought more shares in First Bank. So he practically kind of own First Bank. You know, these are the people milking Nigeria, enjoying their life. You know,
I need to blame them.
I'm not blaming them, but I'm just saying. I mean, Nigeria should have been better off if everything was, if they had allowed other people still do the business, so that there will be competition.
Fair playing ground.
Fair playing ground, so that there will be competition.
Well, I don't think it is the inability of having a fair playing ground. I only think there are some basic things that could have worked if they were put in place.
But what I'm saying, in the sense that when I say fair playing ground, in the sense that if a new party comes into power, they want to crush the other set of business owners that didn't support their election, and which is a very bad thing in Nigeria.
But all is left for the people to decamp.
No, what I'm saying, even like, okay, let's take America for an instance. There are billionaires that support Democratic Party, Republican Party, and whichever party wins does not come after.
No, they don't go after their business.
Support, because the system.
You know why they don't go after their business. First of all, the ballot is stronger than the bullet when it comes to
because and the system works.
Yes.
There's accountability, and the institution works.
There's lights, there are good roads, there's the same bank, even if
and not only that, if that political party that comes into power now goes after that billionaire, the court system will favor the billionaire. It's not going to say because this party is in power, I will work again. No, the court is independent, and they will win their case in court, and their business will continue to flourish. Nigeria, once a new party comes into the presidency, the court of justice, everything goes with that political party. Whatever the commissioner of police or chief of army staff, whatever that party president says, that's what goes in the country. Nobody's independent. And that's why our institutions, if we don't fix it, my brother, it will be hard for Nigeria to be fixed. Without strong independent institutions, these politicians will keep taking us for a ride. There will be no accountability. There will be no punishment for these politicians. Because if you cannot use the ballot box to fight them, you have to have an institution that works, that can checkmate them. If we have institutions that are working, now you can ask each state governor, what did you do with the money that was given to you? You can't. Especially when your party is in power. Okay, let's take Yahaya Bello for example. If whatever they were saying is right that he did, by now he should be persecuted. But the case has gone cold. Nobody's even talking about it anymore. You know, that's why these politicians take the citizens for a ride. They don't care because they know nothing is going to happen to them. Then the governors, by the time they leave office, they are so wealthy that you cannot fight them in court because they will buy up the system for themselves. Highest, they'll tell them to pay some fine, and that is it. Everybody move on. Or it comes to the ruling party in power at that time. Once you move into the new party, the ruling party at that time, your case is forgiven. You know, so that's why even when people are protesting, sometimes it's like it's good to protest, though, if we can achieve our goal. But if it's just to protest at the end of the day, what is still happening is still happening. To me, it doesn't make sense anymore. People will lose their life for no reason. People go to jail for no reason.
That's why I said initially I was excited that the protests commenced, and I got more excitement that it was somewhat peaceful to an extent, but hearing that people were shot, not good. Hearing that people were burning down of vandalism, that's not good. But that's I think that's inevitable when it comes to Nigerian protest or gathering.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, by the time you burn government building, government properties, you are making that state governor richer.
Oh yeah, that was what
And the guy said.
That was what the comedian said.
Because if you look at what happened in Kano, they burnt their ICT center. You know how many computers they must have burnt there, books and everything. Then for them to rebuild that, maybe let's say they built that thing before with like 10 million. Now they're going to tell you they're going to build 100 million.
They don't use millions and million anymore.
1 billion. They tell you that they're going to build it for 1 billion. So that's the thing about
it's $1 billion edifice.
Mm-hmm. And that's why these protesters, they need to understand destroying government property would not solve your problem. Instead, it will increase it.
Destroying anything will not
destroying anything, because if you go and burn down or loot a private businessman's business, you've created a problem for that person.
You're not gaining anything from it.
You're not gaining anything.
Protest the government set up, but with the burning, that's where the problem becomes. People start getting.
Maybe I think, except it would have been better if you start relaying them. If you catch any politician anywhere, you beat them up. That time they start listening.
It wouldn't change anything, because
no, it will change, because then they'll be scared.
Now they will increase their security, or they will not come to protest. They will not come to protest. They will not come to campaign grounds. They will just continue to win elections.
No, at least it's better let them sit in their offices.
But they win elections. They win elections from home.
It's okay. At least something is scaring them.
No, you don't want to be governed by ghosts.
But the ones that are alive, what are they doing? The ones that are alive, that we see life, what are they doing?
But
it's better we know that
these
people are the ones leading us.
If these people have their way, they will not campaign. They will not pay for posters. They will just want to sit there till they get tired or bored or irritated by the system, and they'll just drop it off and walk away.
They love power.
Because now to them, they'll tell you that even with what is happening, they are doing us a favor. That's
But that's how they feel. They feel that they're doing us a favor.
Exactly.
That's how they feel.
Akpabio can tell you now that he's leaving his home every day to come and sit here to make sure he deliberates on some things. That you are talking to him like that. Do you know how much time he's giving out? That's what they say.
So it's a very tough one for Nigerian, for the masses. It's a very tough one. Except the masses will unite, and it will be a one-match thing that will everybody focus on that protest. But when we are divided by money, because these politicians, they know that Nigerians are like chicken. When you dangle that corn, some people will follow that corn and work against their own. Okay, look at people collecting 5,000 naira. Then after collecting that 5,000 naira, you still go home and start crying.
It's better like going home to cry without the 5,000.
Yeah, but what will 5,000 do for
So
you?
the tears will always come, but the 5,000 can solve.
Nigeria of today, what will 5,000 do for you?
Not you can buy garri and drink. At least that night you sleep well.
Then the next day you become hungry again.
It's better than, because if you don't get the 5,000, you will still be hungry and you will cry. So why not cry with 5,000 in your pocket and cry without 5,000 in your pocket?
Or collect the 5,000 and still protest against them.
It doesn't stop a man. We learned those things from was it not from Comrade Oshomole? He said if they give you money, yes, collect the money, take the money.
It's your money.
Vote your conscience. Because nobody is going to come to check your ballot paper to say who have you voted for, what have you voted for. But he has come and he has offered you money. So it's not for you. If you think the money can buy what you want to vote for. Some people want to vote for John and they will bring the money, take 5,000, go and vote for John. Is that not a plus?
It's true.
I pay you to vote your choice. Good. But if Mr. John is not your choice and they give 5,000, collect the 5,000. Work there. Vote who you want to vote.
Your conscience.
Simple.
Simple.
It's free money. Because if the money was hard-earned salary, nobody uses the salary to play lottery.
Nope.
Yeah, they don't use it to play. It's either they have won from somewhere, they are using dividends to play or it's free money that comes.
And when you see the painful part, and when you see these politicians, when they go overseas, they can drive on their own, they get on the train, they get on a local flights without escort or anything.
Well, that is what they say. That's what they say when they go to certain countries. If they come to the US, they drive big cars. They have Mercedes. They all have big Mercedes here as well. Live in houses. You don't see them in train bus stops.
They are driving without escort.
Yeah, the escort. They don't need
the law.
But they don't need escort here.
But that's what I'm saying now. Because if not for what they've created in Nigeria, they are coming into another man's country to enjoy it, driving alone.
Sometimes when they come here, even the Nigerians go flocking around them like they're in Nigeria. Give them Nigerians.
Because they spend money here. At least if you go hang around them when they're leaving, at least if nothing comes, at least 5K, 10K, they will dash you when they're leaving.
That's even too big.
I'm just saying.
They give you $500 notes, give you $100 notes, everything around you, they'll come, they are friendly. Some of them would tell, you see a governor telling a Nigerian man here, if you come to Nigeria, call me, just call me. Come to the States, call my PA. That's it. So you see the guy here getting excited by the governor. The governor
and they behave themselves when they come.
The governor has a credit card that can buy another country in his swipe. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So, but it is left for the people. Protest, accountability, responses. I think we fall short in every part.
Yep.
If only one can be put in place, I think everything, like it's a domino, it's a domino effect. One has fallen and is falling everything to the end. A domino effect. And the bad part is, if the domino falls from the middle, some parts will not be in place, some parts will work, some parts will not work. That is the problem. That is the problem. So if we look at the whole thing, we want accountability. How can we get it? We can't even get it. Because first of all, the people that are being put on the ballot are not the choices from us.
And even the truth about the whole thing is that if we don't have an institution that functions, even if they put you and I there, I don't think we will do better.
When they say an institution that functions, it's the same the people, you and I, that have been put in those institutions to lead them.
No, what I mean, you put people there because if the institutions are not independent, there's nothing they can do.
The institutions are independent. It's just the individual that heads the institution that is not independent.
No, but
for instance, like you made it some time ago. For instance, the IG of police would be APC. That is how the Nigerian police is independent. But when the IG
but what I'm saying
when
is
the IG is partisan, it becomes
but the IG must always be partisan because it's the president that puts him in power.
Yes, the president.
And if he doesn't do what the president wants, they will kick him out. Okay, let's take for example now. This new Inspector General of Police was Tinubu's ADC when he was governor. So do you expect him to work against his boss? He's not going to do that.
Do you think if we look deep now, I'm not accusing, I think if we look deep now, this IG of police does not have an APC registered card.
I don't know if he's even if he's not an APC, automatically he's an APC man.
You see,
no, what I'm saying is that
was Emefiele not APC?
Who?
Emefiele.
That's what I'm saying now. All these political appointees, once they make them a political appointees or whatever they do to them, they're answerable to the Mr. President. He has to. I remember when Oshomole won national chairman, it was the Attorney General of the Federation that swore him in Abuja. First time I've seen that kind of a thing. If an Attorney General of the Federation is swearing a party member as a national chairman, so what do you think the Attorney General will do? That means he's part of the party. I've never seen that kind of a thing before where an Attorney General of a federation is swearing a national chairman of a political party in. So that's the institution. That's in the Western world. You can't see a political rally of a political party and you see cabinet officials in that rally. It's not possible. It's not possible. You see Attorney General of the Federation in a Republican political rally or Democratic political. No, it's not possible. Or FBI director. No. It's not going to work. And if he's a PDP president, the Inspector General of Police will work for the PDP states. If he's an APC president, the Inspector General of Police will work for APC states. Then if the Commissioner of Police in that state is saying it, he'll say, let me talk to Abuja first. If Abuja say A, I will do it. If he doesn't, if they say B, I will do. So that's the problem. Our institutions are not independent. And that's why the country is where it is today. Like you said, IG, Chief of Army Staff, they're all supposed to be independent. They're supposed to work for the good of the country, not for the good of the political party or the president in power. But from time immemorial, it has always been like that. Because you want to remain in power. Because if you don't do what the president wants, they'll fire you. And you don't want to go. You want to remain in that power to get all your largesse. And when you leave, you'll be very rich. I've never seen an IG or police that left office that is poor. They are all very rich. The same thing goes with the army generals. None of them are poor. They are all rich. In a country where people are struggling, people are hungry. So it's and I don't know how that independent institution is going to come. It's going to be difficult. Except the whole
independent institution come. I pray so.
Even the INEC that they said as independent is not independent.
I pray for Nigerians to have the spirit of belief. We always think we believe something. We don't believe anything because
it's only going to take magic for it to happen.
If you believe in your political party that you are registered to, there's no reason for you to decamp to another party. It becomes
because you see that decamping one is because of the way the system is in Nigeria too. The party that is in power takes it. The party that is in power takes it on, and most of these politicians, they don't have any second address. All they've lived on is politics. So they don't want to leave power. So that's why they all jump to the next party that is in power. If that party that is in power fails election, they jump to the party where they came from. Because they don't have any other thing they want to do. They just focus on politics. But that's the surest way to become very rich in Nigeria. They want to continue that lifestyle. They want to be in power. And I thought they even passed a law whereby if you're in this political party, you win an election, you cannot move to another party. But those laws, they're all flaunting the laws. You know, nobody's held accountable for the law. They still leave their political party and join another party, even while they are still in power. You know, so it just is a double-edged sword for us as Nigerians. It's very tough, very, very tough.
It is, well, today is different. Yes, the topic is still protest in Nigeria, protests in different places. I've gone through the media, the protest now. I think sometimes we think our politicians are not as smart as they are supposed to be. I think with the flag thing, someone just, I read somewhere, someone just said that with the flag thing, it seems like it's a form of distraction. So the protest has been on. It has affected the economy. It has affected the businesses. Yes, the government has heard from us or heard from the people. People are for sure happy about the response. But now those flag sharing or the flag of the military or the flag of whatever misconstrued statement of whether it's military or Russia, someone I just read it somewhere. It's not. Someone said it's a strategy to distract the people, or strategy to distract the people from the protest main aim. That those people have been aided by the government. It's a remark from somebody. I'm not saying it's not just basically social media remark. The person was trying to analyze it, or was trying to say that yes, they want something to take the face off. They want something to take the face off the main point. But well, whether it's a strategy or not, the government heard what the people wanted, although the response was not what the people wanted to hear. Some people wanted a form of reaction, or they wanted something to. They wanted a solid response.
Yeah, do I have the chance right now to speak?
Okay, yes, yeah. Are you free now? Okay, yes, Mr. Atiku. Go ahead.
All right. So, you're talking about the president's speech, right?
Yes.
Good. So, I believe, first and foremost, let's first applaud the protesters and say, even though we were not expecting that it will be this, it's actually not yielding the momentum I was expecting, but
Because the attention of the government.
The government is actually probably trying to just play to the gallery, because the protest has not really lived up to expectation. Let me put it like that. I've just only seen, I saw a video yesterday where in Benin, a man was asked for money, and next thing the guy could not, probably the man still suffering the pains of the policies, probably does not have money in his pocket. But the protesters could not really tell themselves that this man is just a regular civilian like them. And they decided to destroy the man's vehicle, putting him in a pain that is up to 100 or more thousand. Then the man tried to calm down. Maybe probably in my own think he tried to tell them, I'm part of you, but they lynched him. So you see, what this will only achieve is that you now have the people who feel that they are supposed to be assuming the position of the middle class, which is no longer existing, being afraid that they might even be targeted by these same protesters, because the car that man was driving is a 2006 car, so it's probably a very regular citizen. So why now go and destroy it? Even though he refuses to give you money, it's not his obligation to pay you for a roadblock. Protest does not involve a roadblock. You understand? So, but I can fault the man, because when the protesters are
was that in Benin? Was it in Benin?
Yes, Santana Market. You should have seen the video.
No, I've not seen it.
Okay. I can fault the man, because I can say, okay, why the protesters are protesting for the man? Because they are on the street actually for us, demanding for good governance for every citizen, not for themselves. The man is busy inside his AC trying to drive past them, thinking he has a better plan or a busy schedule. So I can fault him for going into such environment, because you know how hostile it is. But why should the people now say, you know, one great drop money, so they now have to destroy his car and lynch it? Yeah, well, you can't predict what a hungry man will do. As they say, the protesters are hungry. You know, so but then when you look at that, it will now make a distinction of those who are feeling that they can be comfortable to become afraid and say, what is this? I don't even want to participate in it. And then the government will say leeway to say, okay, this is no longer a protest, but just some hoodlums trying to just hijack the environment. First, you must understand that in the republic, you have those who are for and who are against. Yeah. Now, those who are for might be 50 million, those who are against might be 50 million. It automatically means that every individual or citizens in Nigeria have the right to peace and prosperity. So even while you are protesting, you should not infringe on the right of other people who might not be protesting. You understand? Whether they like the protest or not, they are suffering or not, they have a right to live in peace. You understand? So now, how many people are protesting given the population of Nigeria? If you look at all the videos, is it up to 50% of Nigeria?
No.
So it is not. It is
I don't
not.
think it's up to 10.
Yes, it's not what you cannot declare state of emergency and say that people should go all out and become hoodlums or take the laws into their hands. So the police still has the duty to ensure peace in the society by protecting the remaining 70 or 50% that are not protesting. That is the constitution. That's the law. Whether you are protesting, it doesn't take away the right of a non-protester. So the government of the day, which Tinubu is saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that the republic is in peace and must remain one, must ensure the protection of lives and property of other people who are not protesting. If this protest should end today, I can tell you the only losers are the same masses they were protesting for, because cars that have been destroyed, stores that have been looted, etc., all belongs to the regular civilians who are trying to make ends meet day by day. No politician has been hit. No government office has been. You know, even even the library they talked about. To me, I think the library, maybe they just decided that they wanted to use the library to cash out and send some people there to go and burn. What is making the hoodlum to go and break a library? They looted everything and they didn't even take one book from the library. You understand?
What library was that?
Huh?
What library?
The one in Kanu now, is it not the center? I don't know.
Okay, ICT center. Okay, the
library
ICT
center. Now. So,
library for ICT,
maybe the government is looking for a way to, maybe that's a quick getaway for him to quickly do a contract.
Yes.
And say, okay, go and destroy this so that we'll come there. You know, so all this is all the, how will I put it now, the sights and sounds of the protest. Now, going by the speech of Tinubu, I have read, or rather, I read the article posted by one barrister about Wole Soyinka, and the article was very apt. He explained what John Bosco was trying to talk about, the need for Nigerian security to understand what you take into a riot. You don't take live ammunition, you don't take live bullets. Nigeria should have been prepared, buy rubber bullets and all that to ensure that you don't kill people. You don't understand? So, and what Wole Soyinka was trying to say is that it has never happened in Nigeria. This is even taking us back to the dark days when they were even fighting the British government. However, the president has come out with a speech. For me, the speech was very watery. And the speech is based on the kind of protest they have seen the people do. That is just the clear truth. So it's just for them to just, okay, at last they are protesting, let us just say something.
Exactly.
Looking at the protest is watery, it's baseless, it's not achieving anything. They are just, they're talking. A group of people are trying to protest, some people are not protesting. There's no unity in this protest. We are here now when we did that Start Riot and Hope 93. The country was shut down. Abacha had to declare shoot aside because the country was shut down. You are protesting the airports and people are still flying out of the country and flying in. A friend of mine just arrived the country I live in yesterday. I said, did you pass? He said, yes. He just came for a visit and he's going back. In a country where they are protesting. Wow. That is not
but the protests, when they begin to, when they, in time of protest, things are hospitals are supposed to work, police stations, sometimes grocery stores,
essential services. Let's say that.
Airports.
Essential services. But let me tell you, when it comes to nationwide protests of ending bad governance, which in turn includes both our constitution and our existence, I think the airports should first be shut down. That's you not going out. We die here. That's the story. Those who have gone out, stay out. Then the demand should be clear by the protesters that those politicians who have successfully run out of the country, they should not just bother coming back. They should just accept it that they have forfeited their seat. Because in the heat of the action, they could not stand to the responsibilities that people had placed in their hands. Why should the senator be running out during protests? A representative is running out, leaving the people who sent him to go and collect money and represent them, and he's in abroad. So this should be a demand that should be added, that as this protest is ending on the 10th day, they should do a roll call like as military does during coup. If there's a coup action, once the coup phase, they go into the military barracks and to quickly do a roll call of those who are sleeping. Then identify those who are not on bed. They know, okay, these are the people that are the rogue soldiers. So now we should do a roll call on the 10th day of the protest to know those politicians, rep members and senators and governors who are still in Nigeria. And those who are outside Nigeria should automatically forfeit their seat. It should be on the demand. This is a Nigerian thing. So to me, I feel the protest is so watery. It's nothing. It's just a group of people trying to just maybe make name. Unfortunately, it's not going the way they plan.
Cook rice on the side of the road.
Exactly. So let us just go home and let's rest. That's why the president could make such a speech. It's very clear now. Yeah, he spoke well. He said some things, maybe the workings that they are doing. But the basic issues, insecurity, electoral reforms, all those things, it was not said now. We understand the economy is in jeopardy. It's in jeopardy because of corruption, electoral errors, and insecurity. We know those things now. But instead,
I think
we are seeing our senators run out to go and be doing holiday. So those who have gone for vacation, because the matters of Nigeria is not serious for them, that's why they decided to go on vacation, to remain in their vacation spots. For those who went for medical trip, because they failed the country to give us proper Medicare, they should remain in that country and continue to enjoy Medicare. That is it. That should be a demand. That's how you protest.
I know. If they can't fix hospitals in Nigeria, why are they going abroad?
Exactly.
To enjoy, to still take our money to go spend abroad too.
Exactly.
That man's hospital.
So this is the way to protest. When we did the anti-SAP riot, it was clearly Babangida must go because we're tired of military, and it yielded results because a year down the line, the elections were conducted. You understand? So this is what protest should look like. But that's why I had the question: who were the people that first fixed a date for a protest? You want to protest, you are fixing a date. That makes it very, very stupid. What is that date, 1st to 10th? Then they stop protest. There's no end date for a protest until demands are met. So it should have just been to infinity. You know? So, well, I wish them the best. And I hope that Nigeria will have, Nigeria will work. Okay. That's for now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pope. Thank you for your submission. Thank you for your Mr. Jensen said thank you to Pope. God bless you, Flynn, because you have said it the way it is. But Yeah, we have to first applaud the protesters, the people that came out. Even if I believe it wasn't the people that spearheaded the protests that came out. So people have been behind social media spearheading protests, but the people that came out are different. The people that came out are the real hungry ones. The ones that are still going for weekend parties are the ones that spearheaded the protests. Yes, because they use the power of social media. In this, the whole protest, like you said, I've been watching. They're watching. The word watching is it's funny, but yes, it's diluted. It is not. It's not. You know, normally, a protest has to be concentrated. Has to be. It will smell corrosive, even if it is not corrosive. It look like water, but it's acid. That is how. That is how protest.
That's even the law enforcement people self can't even continue.
Yeah, they
They
don't.
will run.
It will not be for. You will see a mammoth crowd, and you say, yes, these people are good. When you get in close to the crowd, you hear them in one voice. Now it's like comedy. Now some people just think, oh, the protest time, let's go and make a skit. Let's use the protest to comedians. Let's use the protest to get public awareness. Because even the previous, whether we like it or not, the other protests that they said there was more in the south, was people used it to get popularity. So people started comedy from it. So people used it to enhance their comedy and more. Yes. But again, for the fact that you mentioned blocking roads or blocking the airport, that is, it's a nationwide strike or a nationwide protest, but there was no strike in it. When
Because NLC pulled out of the protest now, so
Yes,
their workers were not
when there's no
striking.
strike, when there's no strike,
Let me say this. If you go
okay,
back to history, the protest of anti-SAP riots 1989, it was not conducted by NSC. Leaders of that
no,
protest included this current barrister, is it Mumini Jubril or something? I think then he was the what they call that thing. He was the national president of Nigerian students as at that time, because it was university. Then, as the other guy who was there was I think Lambaramaku, who as at then was the I think SUG president of one of those schools, and then the president or chairman of ASU in the person of Jega. Is it not Jega they call him then?
the former INEC boss.
Yes, the former what they called uh, yes, and this INEC guy now. Yeah, those were the
Jega
Jega,
now, Mahmoud Jega.
Mahmoud Jega. Those were notable leaders in that riot as at that time. So if you go by that, you understand that you didn't need the NLC that are already political. Other people that joined that, I think it was Pengas in one
And
of them.
even National Association of Nigerian Students were not political the way they are
Exactly.
now. They were
So
really independent.
when you get a riot or a protest like that, you know that the people are actually demanding, and they shut down the country. And it was military era. The military even still yielded. But in this one, you see the police will say, okay, closing time, 4 o'clock, everybody go home. Everybody will go home. What is going on now? It's becoming, it's ridiculous.
And to you remember those anti-SAP riots? Nobody was carrying a placard that because of hunger, I don't see husband.
Exactly.
And
This thing
shower
is
price
just
don't go
making
up.
us.
I mean, those are
So,
stupid things when
so
you use for a protest
I
like that.
think that's why the government don't take the people serious.
Thank you. Thank you. How can you be carrying a
Because
placard because of
yeah,
hunger?
because okay, I understand. Okay, you are. We are right. They are protesting against. They say end bad governance. No senator, no senator, House of Rep Nothing happened to their houses. We have these people. Tinubu is in Abuja. It's quite far. Example, we in Edo State, we have 3 senators. We have like 12 House of Rep members. I expected the protesters to go to the doors of these senators. You know their houses. You know, we all know where these people reside. You go to their house and act there. So the effect will be reflected at the National Assembly. But no, we decide to go against ourselves. Are they hungry? You they hungry. Now me, you want thief. It actually doesn't make sense. And the government sees it, and that's why they don't have regards for the people. I made a riot, they'll also enter house. Not be riot. And when you see, like Flynn said earlier, people are using the protest to make content on the internet, to make money. And you think the government don't see these things? They see it. That's why I keep saying, we the people, we are the major problem in the country.
It is back to square one. That is just the way it is.
Yeah.
It's back to square one, because as it is, maybe when people go back home, they would fix another
Please
deal.
borrow me a second. By the time some people were in TikTok and Twitter planning their protest, they were looking for subtitle that will give their protest. Today it will be end of destruction. Tomorrow is burn Nigerian down. Next tomorrow is end bad government. Next is start destruction. I engage them severally. First of all, I will thank the obedient and the IPOB that we are pushing so much for it. That gave drums to our Arewa brother. We're looking for avenue to start this protest. They now started their own protest started pushing it on their own Twitter space. E.g. TikTok. I was surprised so my northern brothers, they know how to use TikTok. You see the way they were pushing these things in TikTok, and I was engaging these people. During your brother's time.
Yeah, thank you.
During your brother's time, you people didn't protest.
Thank you.
Now you guys know that you cannot start this thing, that nobody will listen to you. You're looking for somebody to kickstart it. And my brothers from the south is fair cheaply for it. These people, you said 4 months ago that you're not going to protest, that anything that no matter how hard is it in Nigeria, Igbo can still buy food. Unfortunately, 4 months after, you are the one that pushing no hunger protest. Tomorrow you change the title. And people were telling you, it's okay for you to protest. But why must it be Lagos? If you want to really protest, then go to Abuja or protest in your own region. Nobody stops you to protest. You have your right to protest. It's your own right to protest. Of course, we need the protest. The protest is needed, but not this one that had this ethnic and biased political coloration already. Samekpa is there claiming, looking for dead body he wants to use to champion his UN or whatever. In Dumu and other Dangote and other people that is fighting to get oil, they're looking for a way to make their statement. Why you that lost election, they'll be then want to state the country to burn down so that you can be the king of the ash. I've never seen anybody that want to make protests. You give the government one more head count ahead. Are you stupid?
Thank you very much.
Are you stupid? You think the government will just fold his hands so you let him destroy his government?
Yes, that's what they thought. I think that was what they thought.
Any government will fight back. They will sabotage the protest. Okay, when you were planning the protest, you could not find a leader. The government started looking for it. And I told you, they will paint it on you. And as I say in CIA, look for a death in him or put one in him. And they put one in you now. They find it. They started tagging Obi, started tagging people. They now make it a tribal protest. Look at people. some people sometimes they're just clever by half. You're just being clever, but it's not in you. You cannot beat APC came into power by protest. You think you can beat them in their element? Protest genuinely, protest in your state. Let it start from your state, then it cascade down to every other state. Then you know
Yeah,
that's
it's supposed to be a domino effect.
A domino effect.
It starts one place and it continues to go. It goes, and then they cannot contain it anymore.
We told them, sheathe your sword now. Just sheathe yourself for a little bit. This government, they live a life of exorbitant. They will only make on that mistake. This government, there's a wasteful government. They always live large. They will make on that. They will make one law against your stand that will want to pass money to so thing. You can protest for that. Not now. A community that is in peace is better than a country that is in chaos. Now look at what you have done. That money now you said that hunger now. That money you are saying the government is stealing. Now before the protest, they are budgeted 6 billion. After the protest, they'll tell you they are spent on that 60 billion for what you destroyed.
What you destroyed, yeah.
When people just keep quiet, do you think people are stupid? Okay, the Southeast push for protest so bad. Or let me use strategy. Obedient. The 9 minutes of the protest, they proved that, oh, we are not protesting anymore. So tomorrow, you think the people will come and vote for you. 227 people will come and vote for you. People felt bad about that thing. You are supposed to keep short at that time when people tell you relax. Or you want to protest, starting in your own state. Now there's a protest going on in Nigeria now. Your own state, there's no protest. They are saying no, now you're not saying it now. What you're supposed to say then, you're saying, no, if we protest, they'll blame on the evil. So you didn't know that time that they will blame on you when you were pushing on TikTok, on Twitter, everywhere, that we will burn everywhere down.
Yeah.
In short,
yeah, but
countries, sometimes
the people. Fact is, when people exalt Peter Obi, I'm marveled. I'm shocked because I cannot comprehend if somebody, he was the running mate with Atiku and lost. 4 years later, he is the Messiah and Atiku is the devil. I cannot comprehend that. And if we look at records, yes, Peter Obi was governor 8 years. What did he do? What did he do different from any other politician? Nothing. He did exactly what every other governor, politician in Nigeria does. He did the same. Imposing local government chairman, imposing your successor, which is normal. Not developing your state is normal. He even went as far as investing state money in his private business. So the status of Messiah, and when it speaks, everybody, it's baffling. And this comes down to the people. We are gullible. We are gullible. Let me call us lazy.
See, sorry. The obedient movement is like a thug movement, like the Shorinka pronounce them. They are headless more. Do you know this protest? They bullied Obi to the extent of being have to make statement. Obi was not supposed to make statement. The government looked for who to charge, and Obi went stupidly started making statement because the opinion were pushing for it on Twitter everywhere.
He is who he is. He said it during the election.
He cannot control.
He said it during the election that he does not have control of the movement. He said it. He said he does not have control of the movement.
They want to be a president.
It's all whitewash. It's all whitewash. And like, look at our churches. As much as they rip us off, they are full every Sunday, every Wednesday, every Tuesday. We are gullible, lazy-minded people. We're just looking for the fast way. Fast get away. That's why somebody can come up and say, I have a soap, a prosperity soap. If you buy it and you shout and you bathe with it, you will prosper. And people will buy it. How can a government respect and regard such people? How can a government regard such people? It's hard.
It's it's really sad that people are treated as Nigerian citizens.
But even
One
our
person,
traditional rulers are part of the problem too.
It's interwoven. Our
In traditional
institution of God,
rulers, religious leaders,
they are all the
and
same.
so-called elders,
They are
part
all
of
the
the
same.
problem.
They did the same rope. They did the same. They did the same. Okay, I give you another example. I give you another example of how we as a people, our government don't have regards for us. Now, I think that's why even in the world they see us in a kind of light. Example, when you are traveling. Example, when you are coming into, let's say you are coming into England, they tell you passport, international passport, and local. If you have an English passport, you go through or European passport, you go through a fast lane. If you have other passports, you go through the normal lane, which is always long. It's the same thing with countries. But if you come to Nigeria, people with foreign passports, they are
more
in the fast
respected.
lane. They are in the fast lane. We, the Nigerians, with our Nigerian passport, it be like Dubai market. You go wait. You can wonder, say, I'm going into my country. These foreigners are being given priority pass. Me, in my own country, I'm second class. And when we come outside, we'll be shouting, when you live for London, you live for America. I know my rights. I know my right. You can.
I know.
What right? When in our country, we are second class. So let me get expecting, okay, if this protest won't go about despite the flaws, I think our legislators should have been the target.
God bless you, Odiano said. I think that's where they would have marched to. That focus on the National Assembly. Leave all those blocking
They would have been
roads
the
and all those
target.
things. Eagle Square. What is Eagle
But
Square?
What is Eagle Square?
Are they not on recess?
It doesn't matter.
No, you
People
don't need
camp
to
there.
go. You don't need to go to Abuja. We know where Apakomi's house there for Mwekpoma. We know where the Oshomole house there for where the village. We know where this guy from Benin. We know where house there. We know where the House of Rep house there for our state. If everybody does that in their state, if they burn those people houses, if they come back from their recess, plenary go change. They'll be discussing something different.
But you see, Odiano said the problem with burning their houses, you're still making them rich. I remember this man's house they burnt in Imo State, Governor Hope Uzodinma. Nothing changed. They burnt his rest. They burnt his house.
I don't want to be too callous to say kill them. I prefer to kill them.
No, what I'm saying is that burning their property is not going to change.
I prefer to kill them. They should be killed.
If you can reach them now.
Odiano said,
I know it's very annoying, but
I'm sorry because they treat us like trash. They are killing us.
I think the best bet is to go and station in that National Assembly. Don't destroy anything, no. Just stay there, protest there, camp there. Because going to Eagle Square and all those places are not going to.
You don't get any effect. No effect.
You don't have any effect. That National Assembly, go there, stand
in
there.
your state, like Edo State, they just go Palm House, sit down for the gate. Just sit down for the gate. Block Sapler Road. How many police? You don't need to destroy anything. You are protesting.
Because it's when you start destroying stuff that you not play to your hand.
By the time everybody sit on the ground, you see like 20,000 people sitting on the ground.
I'm locking myself. Sit down for ground.
Everybody hold each other. Hand. Sit down for ground. You see crowd of people. How you want throw bomb? They are not destroying anything. They are only singing. That is a protest. Don't be saying you can't do. You if you start looting, then I'm out. Then police can do their work.
Of course, you play into their hand.
Yeah.
But you cannot control that as well because you cannot control. You can only have a mindset of you are thinking like this. A lot of people are not thinking the way you think. Some people ask for the protest because they are waiting for the protest to be hijacked so that they can go and rob, or I don't want to use the word rob. They can go and loot in a market. Some people are out because imagine, okay, you are saying you are protesting, yes, you have blockage. A man comes and you're asking the man for money. Do you have any idea what the man has in his account? The man does not have. The
Yeah,
man
for
does,
that, sorry to cut you, but I would say Free mentioned it. Is a two-way. The man first, he fuck up. Because imagine me, first of all, making the mistake of driving during the protest. And as they stop me, even if not 200 naira, 300 naira, you will show solidarity. That is where we are from.
yes, but
You
do you
don't
know?
show solidarity.
You know if he
Those
has.
days,
But then I
those
say that
days,
man, you know, even get that
You know
200.
if he
wait,
has.
but see, even if you not get it, as you want to
No,
come out,
one of the support
you
party.
put leave.
One of the
See,
support
you
party.
put leave for your car. You put leave for your car.
People
That's what we do. That's what
people
we
they
do on
travel
those
from
days.
Edo.
That's what we
People
do
they
on
travel
those
from
days.
Edo to
You put
Warri.
leave
They
for
were
your car.
attacked. Passengers.
That was
Passengers
wrong,
were
man.
traveling
That
from
was
Edo
wrong.
to Delta State. They stopped their bus, beat them, loot them. See, since I come this place, I just decided to keep quiet because the last time I even spoke about this protest was on Monday on this same space. Because first of all, even when I enter here, they had the kind of big grammar. I this is a professor. Yeah, I laugh. I got a laugh. See, we'll talk all you want. The organizers, first of all, are to be blamed. How una go dey organize protest? Una face no dey known. Nobody to talk to. Una dey on social media dey organize protest. Even when they say make dis people come out, people like Omolele Sowore, where e dey? E dey organize
In
protest. They
America.
told me dem burn down the country. Make dem burn down the country.
In the US.
Make dem burn down the country. And you get political bias towards these things. Now my fear no even be the protest now about this looting. When I dey discuss with one security agent this evening, a DSS guy, he told me, say wetin you dey see for north, na the Wagner group, they don from Mali enter Niger. You know, say they always dey look for the South African countries to go loot their this is now. So they don enter Nigeria, the northern part. You see Nigerians, they fly Russian flag, they say na Putin, they call, not be Putin. And the Wagner group, for waiting at the here. And see where we don't reach. So tell our citizens, they call military to come back, want to go back to the military era because your candidate don't win election. We don't do this gullible. And then they claim that some of us nobody come out come protest. I followed Kenyan protests very well. They went to the National Assembly, laid their complaint, begged these people they know here before they invaded the place. That was what I was expecting. And most of them are here talking. You get what happened for Bayelsa last day when they handed Ajib to Wando. The people know they convinced with the whole thing. Waiting them do now to go shut down the oil well. And they listen to
That's
them.
it.
You know when your protest get hurt. When your protest get hurt, people will listen to you. Even the person they protest against, they will take you serious. Look at their demands. They say me then throw away the 1999 constitution. I don't know that this what they read. Even so we're saying go school. Which country a democratically elected government would just throw away constitution like that? If you talk about
Without
amendment, go
deliberation.
here. Without deliberation. And the time I could take this people serious, man come out for protest. No, it don't make sense. So I make I just sit down. I just dey watch. In short, this period I just decide not to listen to Nigerians again because they don't really know what they want. You want to go square, and that secretary there, properties there, on one go destroy, on one burn. But for Southeast they sit down. Obi Ona even best me past the whole. He couldn't have just even come out to make statement. Traditional rulers, about 8 of them have been 9. We are slaughtered in the East. Yesterday, you not talk about them. But you want to go do solidarity with the North because you want to become president. Who you want to deceive me? When you the contest against when the contest on that Tinubu with Atiku, you were in Edo State now. We know the politician house. Then go. He was the one sharing the money. They come now. You tell me say he be sent. You go to wear black and black every day. They can't deceive me, and you get you get supermarket
Leave Pete Obi alone. Leave Pete Obi alone.
You go to wear black. They see people want watch. How can you be rich? You own nest. Now you own nest.
Now DG man, now they can't talk to like this. DG.
Yeah, no care which person man. The man should just be straightforward. If you want to become president, you no need all this sympathy. Come out, be bold enough to talk.
But
you understand? People like Erufai should be fingered because waiting they happen now. I got the finger most of them because things no work on our way. On one bond in the country. They not keep quiet. The same treatment they give Jonathan, now they give this man so.
Yeah. And I'm not saying if this Russian flag was flown in the south, people don't die by now. Plenty people don't die by now.
Yes, I swear.
Military
swear.
for
Now
not to
south or the southeast, this flag, they fly this flag, they talk to me, they overthrow government. You know, that is sometimes when people say the Igbos they want to protest, Igbos know what they don't suffer for protest for Nigeria, especially the ones where they Lagos. What their businesses don't suffer. Even the north where they cry now, when they were protesting against Buhari, they did not raise one finger. Instead, they were joining Buhari
At
people
all.
to fight the south. Now they are not angry. Then the whole people that protested against Jonathan for fuel subsidy, now they are now complaining that protest is to change their government. Because that protest of that 2012 subsidy, that's what brought people like Tinubu and Buhari back to power.
It was political.
It was political. And we're suffering. That's what we're suffering today.
Oil blocks and all that. People they support Dangote. This man has been getting everything free for this country. The laziest, richest man in the world. Dangote get everything for free. Free. He doesn't pay tax, nothing.
What peace?
John Bosco, listen.
Yes, sir.
Igbo don't lose the law. For that reason, therefore, not be the one who will the champion is
I know they hear you well.
last week. I say Igbo no say they don't lose the lot. And they not say how is they protest, therefore be the main target. Why you say that they call the champion since last month, we must protest, hunger protest, and such protest.
Yeah, but you can't blame it on only what do they call them? What do they call her? Obedient supporters not be only Igbo people now. They are Yorubas.
I know, but you go to their space. Those are where the Biafra we say.
But those Biafrans are different from real Igbos. The Igbos said they suffer for the hands of the Biafrans themselves in the southeast, the so-called ESN and the rest. They suffer a lot in the hands of those people. You know, they hear of sit at home. You know how many of them don't die for sit at home situations every month?
They killed some traditional rulers yesterday. 9 of them.
Even the Hope Uzodinma himself, the Imo state governor, is part of the problem in the southeast.
Wait, hold on. The problem that the good Igbos don't speak up. So you're not quiet. When you are quiet, that it means acceptance. When things are going wrong, when these few miscreants are causing problems for the southeast, the majority is supposed to speak out.
No, but
they're quiet, they're silent.
Wait, let me ask you one question. What, Tony? The problem, I say, first of all, most of these people, when they speak out, they get crushed by people like Hope Uzodinma. You know what Hope Uzodinma do them before this protest even starts? You know what the police? I think Very Dark Man played a video of what happened in the south, in Imo State. What the police brutalize people when one try to come out to protest. The same thing in Ebonyi State, because even when you hear Umahi said that the minister for works, he said the Igbos are not going to protest in this protest because they are happy with Tinubu's government. So you want who want come out for Abia State and Ebonyi State come protest where the state now APC state, or now for Abia State where be Imo State where be APC state where Hope Uzodinma they use sledgehammer on you. So they even make somebody like a whole sitting governor like Rochas, former governor Rochas Okorocha, they humble and for Imo State. So sometimes the people are tired of the killing in the states already from ESN people and Samelepa people. They are tired of it, so that's why they don't want to come out. They don't want to die again, because if they come out and they blame that hope. Imagine if they had protested in us. Their businesses by now, they don't burn them down. Even said they don't even come out for the protest. They don't tell them they leave Lagos. They are telling them to leave Lagos. Where the governor Sanwo-Olu don't come out to say they are going to prosecute people where they push for that narrative, that they should leave their land. So that's why they fold their hands, say no, this time you consign us. The North now they cry now because it's affecting them badly. Now they even want. Imagine in the South, they say they overthrow government. Do you know how many people don't lay dead by now by Nigerian army and Nigerian police? They say that they fly Russian flags. Maybe Russia can't help them take over government. No, now.
Yeah, but for me, I think it's time for the Igbos. It's time for the Igbos to even come together and try and build the Southeast. It's time.
Moderator, if I want to say something about Southeast, you know why I'm not too faulting the Southeast about this protest? Because the Southeast is very clear. Southeast doesn't care whether the government is bad or not. Southeast said that they have been marginalized. and that they require a referendum. So protesting for bad governance or good governance is going to
You not join their matter.
yes, it's going to contradict their actual stand that Nigeria needs to be
Yeah.
discussed. You understand? So whatever they are doing, I believe is just what this man was trying to say. It's just the followers of Peter Obi under the labor movement that is just trying to drag the Igbo people along, because actually Easterners already have a protest which has been ongoing since 1967. You understand? So that protest is that Nigeria must be rearranged to capture the East properly. And maybe the Nnamdi Kanu, which was put in the one of the list, is in the forefront of that. So maybe if they had released Nnamdi Kanu to them, they will say, okay, probably where the protest makes sense. But in the final analysis of their own, Nigeria is not existing to them. There need to be a discussion on how they themselves, Easterners, will get the benefits of being Nigerians. So that one, government knows that already now. That's why you have IPOP. That's why you have agitation. That's why you have Simon Ekpa. So it's not today that one man.
And another big issue where they skip. You see this Almajiri thing for North. You see their leaders, since they say they're not going to let their people breathe. They just carry a lot of poor people for street. Jonathan was trying to pull out this guy with this Almajiri school. They refuse. They're making their people, and it's hurting everybody. Go Benin now. Go some parts of Benin. See these guys loitering around everywhere. Insecurity. They talk about insecurity. Most of these guys, they don't get anything to fall back to. They deliberately make their people poor.
Can I tell you
Yeah.
something? The truth is that it's not that they are actually making their people poor. You understand? The brainwashers who wants to continually hold Nigeria to ransom are the ones actually propagating that religion to ensure that their people don't go to school. You understand? To always put us to check, like if they have many crazy people on their street that are ready to fight a jihad war and wipe out the South. You understand? So it's a notion that they have used against us for years, and we have been falling for it. That's why one Aboki man can be selling suya in the midst of 19 cultists in Edo State. He will not even be able to take his suya because they believe that he has been radicalized to kill all of them. You understand? So it's a mindset thing that they are using against us. You understand? So it's not even for their people against this. So that's why Nigeria need to really sit down. That's why I was expecting a whole lot from the protesters. Or rather, we need to really sit down because everything is affecting the whole existence of the nation. What is going on? These poor people we are talking about in the north have driven the northerners away from the north. Go to the south. All the people you see now, the people protesting in this south is northerners. My brother, your brother and your friends are not protesting in Benin City. People who are protesting are people who came from Taraba, came from Benin, came from Nasarawa. They are the ones protesting in Benin. They are the ones driving cabs.
Go see the nuisance inside GRA. Every day they break shops.
Yeah, so
and I don't see what you have for Lagos State for Okada riders. Aboki Okada riders for Lagos State.
Not them. So the whole country protest. It's not even us that are protesting now. It is them and some people who instigated them with online. You know? So Nigeria, our leaders across the geopolitical zone, 6 geopolitical zones, they should nominate leaders to come and sit down and talk about Nigeria. It's not a crime to discuss Nigeria. It's not working.
Yeah, but they've had various national conferences now.
No,
They get report already now.
See, this is what various national conferences. Constitutional conference in 1995 by Abuja. You understand? Ben Wabuzi. The one organized by Jonathan. You understand? Those things we were at that time, we were not really protesting. Now that there's a protest, I believe our traditional leaders, spiritual leaders, and political elites should start sitting down in their geopolitical zones to discuss what is stopping the Oba of Benin from calling the elders, maybe the senior pastors in Benin, calling the senior the stakeholders to say, okay, what do we do in our geopolitical zone? They reach out to Delta, call some other elders, reach out to River, build a discussing team. Easterners do the same, Westerners do the same, Northwest, Northeast, North Central do the same. Then go to the center and actually demand. So that's why this protest would have been to the Palace of Benin or to the government house in Benin to demand for us to have a say in government. You understand? Not all these Tinubu must go kind of protest that
Our
is
traditional rulers have been compromised.
where
They've been
where
compromised.
you can know that the traditional rulers were the ones that were first afraid of the situation and they ran to the president. The president or the government now told them these people they are all back and no bite. Go back home. But they ran there first because I haven't seen what happened to the Oba of Lagos. Nobody wants his palace to be invaded and his mantle of leadership taken and sold on. So they went to the president to tell the president, please, these people want to come out. Let them not come and drive us away from palace. The president knows them all back and no bite. And we have seen it that it's all back and no
Yep.
bite.
I know bite. True.
That's it.
Yep.
So the people should go to the localities and first protest there to those people they hold as elites and stakeholders of their societies. Then those ones will feel unsafe and have to call the federal to order. And they want
Yes.
to go and protest in Eagle School. Never ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's it. It's a very tough situation. It's a very tough situation. That's what it is. There's nothing. I don't see. They can never take the protesters for serious. The protesters serious at all.
They can't take them serious. You know why? Showore, who is Showore? Showore just lost the election under EEC. I said that government should not go. What is going on?
And how can you be having a 12 agenda or how they call it for the federal? No, you just pick out three.
Where is the NAS president? Where is the NAS president? Where is the transport union workers? Where is the ASU? Where is National Union of Journalists? Where are those people that are supposed to be the fabrics of the society that are supposed to come? Where are the elders? You understand? Those are the people that protest. They just maybe politicians are just using some people to do with the hungry. The yam is still going up. The fuel is still going up. Government is still eating. You understand? And they will still be doing elections, and so it's a merry-go-round.
Akpabio said it now. He said, "Be protesting, I'll be eating."
Except the people decide to protest based on their regions. Make their regions very ungovernable for the stakeholders, the leaders, the politicians, and the elites, and the traditional rulers. Then they will have to call the federal government to a round table. That's it. You understand? You call the government to the round table, say, come, our people are no longer happy. What do we do about it? But as long as you put Buhari, Tinubu must go in a protest, it's already political.
Yeah, but they are learning from what Tinubu's protest did too now in 2012. So it's not a new thing.
If you go by Tinubu's protest, Tinubu protested in 2012, but how did he still get to office? Through politics.
So because it was the protest. It was the protest that led to Buhari becoming president and Tinubu becoming president too.
Exactly. So what you want to?
So that's why they are scared of that same scenario happening.
No, they are not scared. You cannot use the same
thing. But Abeg, who do us? Who do Nigerians? So imagine after what Buhari did to us in 1983, 84, they still elect Buhari. Nigeria,
can I just break that down?
It go hard us.
When it comes to whitewashing, that is the whitewash they gave you in same person of Peter Obi. The same way they brainwashed us to believe that
they say Jonathan too weak. They can't see Buhari be iron bender.
Yeah, so they brainwashed us. Buhari was this, Buhari was that. Buhari never took money. Buhari, when they sacked him, he didn't take salary. He don't have TV. He don't have this. That's how they did us. Then they still brought it again. That's why I was never a fan of Peter Obi, because all this brainwashing of a politician who had been there telling me he didn't take money, he doesn't wear shoes. Those things don't work. We need to be sure these people can be true to themselves. Don't tell me
like Odiano said, you were running mate to Atiku in 2023. All of a sudden you became saint within 4 years. You're 8 years. You now became a saint.
4 years
without holding any political position.
They just put two white wings behind Peter Obi and
Nigerians.
He's just wearing two white wings now. He now become an angel, white angel, Peter Obi. So
I say
it makes it
in the Boski church, they fool. In the Boski church, they fool. In church, imagine people they go that church.
Of course.
You know, so I think if we want to go by protest again, it should be regionalized, regions by region. Westerners should ask for what they want. Easterners should south. You know, they are taking away. In short, it's south that will even be protesting
and I
our
think
oil is taken away every day. Our people are marginalized.
People they go watch
We the
comedy now.
Southerners
They
that
go
are
watch
running
comedy.
the country's economy with our oil. We don't have billionaire. You talked about billionaire just now. The South that have the oil don't have a billionaire. Alakija that became a billionaire through oil is not from the South. Every other person that is choking his head into the oil and becoming a billionaire, they are not even from the South. Then the South are protesting for Peter Obi. My brother, I rest my case.
And the problem, I say, the tribalism of the whole protest is worrying too. Because if a Yoruba man is the president tomorrow, the Westerners will say, no, go protest. If an Igbo man is the president now, the same thing. Hausa man, the same thing. So the unity is not there for us to protest to get what we want. Northerners refused to protest 8 years of Buhari. Not that they were not suffering. They were suffering. They even suffered more than the South. But they never protested one day. Buhari left now. Tinubu, Yoruba man is there. They are not protesting. Yoruba president no go protest. That's the problem. So how will we solve Nigeria's problem?
It's an indication. It's an indication that we deny the facts. They say
It's true.
If your foundation is not good, no matter what you put on top, no matter how much you spend on top, the building will crumble.
Collapse.
We were amalgamated. We didn't forget that fact. We were amalgamated. That means we were put together
by force
and not by our free will. Because amalgamation, you can come to a consensus. Everybody go sit down. Okay, let's come together. We were forced together. And we still the struggle in that. That means I say we are not emancipated. We're still slaves.
No be Lugard. I mean, who in girlfriend? Name us Nigeria.
Imagine, okay. Imagine every president we don't contest for Nigeria. He must go Chatham House for London. Go read the manifesto. Whether you are APC, you are PDP, NCPN, anyone, you must go Chatham House. Go read your manifesto.
You go tell your master, say, I want
what does that imply? It implies that they know that we are still amalgamated, and for as long as we remain in that union, we will never. It's just like putting square pegs in round holes. You know, go fit. You must get to put sand. You know, go fit if you go. Now we be. Either we change to regional government, everybody manage itself, or make we break. Nobody talk of this. If Tinubu, Buhari Day, they don't demonstrate because I'm not one person. Southern don't enter now. They don't demonstrate. NSAS, Southern the demonstration or NSAS. It must play.
Something that will benefit everybody.
It must play. Tribalism must play. Now make the people know they feel good meet senators, because senator, some people know the senator, it is good for no, now my brother, maybe the leader na Igwebe person, and the senator no, my brother, no more good for that.
And now even the so-called senators from the South and the Southeast and Southwest, with a certain president, why can't they make decisions now? They couldn't make a decision when an Hausa man was the president. So why can't they make a decision? Now we have a senior president from the South. We have a president from the Southwest. We have the majority leader from the Southwest. So why can't we make things happen to help the Southeast? Because when Buhari did it, Lawan was giving him everything. And the Southeast, they were getting a lot of good roads. A lot of policies were shifted to their area. So now we now have our own people there. Instead of them to bring policies that will help us, they are enriching themselves. The same thing happened under Jonathan. Jonathan had a lot of Igbo ministers that worked for him. Instead of them to bring development to the Southeast, they were all enriching themselves. You know?
Because the fact is that they paid for their ticket now. So they get to get the money back. Let me get people say, even God, that's why God is not punishing our politicians. Because
Thank you.
there's what they say, trade by barter. You give me rice, I give you beans. Politician come to your election, he give you salt, 5,000 naira, a half bag of rice, gari for your vote.
I get
You give on
5,000
your
for you.
vote. When you give on your vote, in go Abuja, you can't expect and make give you light, make give you road, when he don't give you rice and beans,
You
you
don't collect
don't do bargain.
your birthright money now.
Una don't do una bargain finish.
Mhm.
Then now you can't expect and say, me can't see they give you road. Damn, you the cheat am now. You cannot put a discussion with that now. You the cheat am now. He give you rice, but if you tell him, I don't want your rice, I don't want your beans, I want road and light and this is our bargain, then you can hold him accountable. That's why they're acting with impunity, because they know say they don't already pay the people now. I
See,
give you
remember another thing again. Remember when Texas, they had one issue with their lights, heavy storm. Ted Cruz, Senator Cruz and the family dodge go Mexico, go there and laugh. Now for plane, somebody say, your state get problem, you dey here, you dey go enjoy for risk outing. Now the man packing low, run, come back immediately. Nigeria
straight
senator
up.
go look you, go laugh, because you know say the next election there's problem for him. They will vote him out. But Nigerian politician, you go say, you go the hiller. Hey, my senator, you're in America. Yeah, you go laugh. Even when you won't say him, you go tell you, say, what is your business? I can live where I want to live. It's my money. Because you know, say the next election, he go still go back to the Senate. Now they go
Yes,
still
sir.
mago the thing, go back. So the consequences of election, no, they
What take
there.
for example, election they come for those states now. Election day night, you know where anybody talk about manifest again. No.
Igbe, are you there?
Maybe
Igbe, are you there?
network.
Igbe, are you there?
I think it's network.
Okay. Anyways, uh, we have heard from the panelists. We have hit our 2-hour mark. Yeah, it is time to come to the end of the program for today.
Oh,
Yes, and our submission.
always nice having these discussions.
Yes, and that's why upper importance has come to stay. Elections will come and go, political parties will come and go,
No, we're here
and,
to stay.
protests will come and go, but upper importance will always be here. And by the grace of God, it will last, it will get bigger and stronger, and we'll pass it across to the generations after us. Today, I'm not going to give any African proverb because there's no African proverb. I'm not in the mood for any. I'm only going to say there's something I want to say that is going to be, this is just on me. First, it is always wise for people to reach out. Please, take out time. Think of somebody, think of a friend, think of a brother, an aunt, an uncle, a relative that you haven't heard from in a while. Pick up your phone, check on the person, know what the person is doing. A lot of people avoid this because we know there's hardship and there are billings. But we have to be true to ourselves. If a person asks you and the person expects you can, the reason why a person would ask for something is because the person believes that you can give. The person looks up to you. And it is only right for you to be real to yourself. If you can, go ahead. If you cannot, tell the person you cannot. because you cannot give what you don't have. So what I'm saying is, check on somebody, reach out. If anyone has a problem, the problem shared is a problem half solved. A problem shared is a problem half solved. The reason why I'm saying this today is because one of our panelists, he was with us like 2-3 weeks ago. One of the episodes, one of the 40th. This is the 47th episode. I think the 40th, 42nd, or 45th episode, where someone he was in the studio and he at some point he made a remark that even got Mr. Tupo upset. His name is Anthony Obomo. Yeah, we lost. He died a couple of days ago. He was a panelist with us some weeks back. He's a brother to a lot of people. Even Mr. Timmy came in like an hour ago to ask if we had done the 1 minute silence for him. That is how much it has affected people around. So people still haven't heard that we lost him. And some people are still devastated by the news. Yes, he's so rest in perfect peace. But what we'll do, we'll just give a minute silence for him before we shut down. So I say, let us give 1 minute silence for him. May the soul of Anthony Waifo Bomo, also known as we call him the White Child, may his soul continue to rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
Yes, thank you guys for today. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for everything, for the submissions. Thank you for the address. Thank you for those home, those in all the social media spaces. Thank you guys for being here with us today. Enjoy your week ahead. We'll see you guys on Friday. Yeah. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, host.
Yeah,
All right,
bye.
guys. Be safe out there too.